Miss Hong was versus Good Boy, 90s vibe. That's a title that I wrote down when I simultaneously watched Miss Hong, Undercover Miss Hong with Park Hye-shin, and The Good Boy with Park Bo-gum. Only one of them is set in 90s, that is Miss Hong in 1997. And Good Boy isn't set in 90s but today. But for some reason, while watching them, Good Boy, for me, for some reason, had a much more pronounced 90s vibe than Miss Hong. Miss Hong, I had to remind myself occasionally, oh, this is set in 90s. They can't talk freely in the elevator because there's no camera in there. Oh, this is the 90s. But except for that, I have no way of telling these are the 90s. Maybe because I grew up in 90s, so to my eye everything looks normal, but somehow it's too normal if you know what I mean. Like the suits, the clothes, they occasionally show a device that is 90s theme, but that device isn't really utilized except as a gimmick, as a cutout onto the old screen TV that shows us the original footage from the IMF crisis in Korea, South Korea. Besides that, they can't get each other on the mobile phone, and that's about sums the 90s vibe. But the good boy who is set today, for me at least, has such a strong 90s vibe that even though they are using mobile phones, I forget that it is a modern media because the grittiness, the sweatsuits, the just the general behavior, like they are not observed, like they can do anything and everything and nobody will catch them. There's a sense to the show that they are not observed, that there are no CCTV cameras on every corner, and the freeness of it. I think that that sense of not being observed, being free to be freaky and weird and express yourself more freely is the marker of 19s for me, because today, even in areas with no dense CCTVs like I'm currently in, you are still quite aware that anyone can take up out their phone and record you. They don't even have to be in a visual range. They can be up on the window in the building, like 3 block, 3 streets away. They can be anywhere, and they can record you, and whatever you do can go viral, and people will see you doing weird shit. If you know what I mean. In the 90s, you can just goof around. Like it was so normal to act however you like, in a sense, without being too self-aware. If you tripped, if you fell, if you said something loudly, it will go away. Nobody will remember it. But today, if you do anything remotely unusual and interesting, it will be everywhere because people want engagement, they want attention, they want interesting things to happen all the time. So they are preying on other people to gain content. They will share and they will produce, and that will bring them attention. So, in a sense, the way people behave in Good Boy, all the teammates, is very free and uncharacteristically so. So, my suspicion is that it was either written long ago or was written by someone who grew up before this surveilling age we live in, because all characters just do stuff without ever thinking about consequences, without ever considering that someone might be watching them, recording them, not for being criminal, not that they are doing something wrong, but just being weird. It's just unusual to see such free characters that have no regard or care in the world of how they are perceived by others. And more so during the series, there is no instance that their footage got online, that they were mocked, that at least among the precinct that is shared of their videos about what they were doing and how they were behaving. And in Miss Hong, Undercover Miss Hong, there is so much caution. Like, she is undercover, so she's cautious. But everyone is behaving like they were being watched all the time. There's no goofiness. No, like, I don't know, just, I'll simply put it that it's just like being self aware, too self aware. So the quality of a time period isn't just dated technologically, like I earlier suggested. It is dated by technology, but it's also dated by the behavior that technology induces. In Good Boy, even if they are set to happen today, they mock about dressing the main character Dongju into colorful floral swaggy clothes, and that ends up adding the layer to the feeling that we are in the 90s. But because in the 90s, that kind of clothes would just be normal. It wouldn't be mocked about. It would be something you wear to the gym or to for a run. That's it for what I had to say about this. I'm Rivas Mayoki, and you can catch me later. See you around. Bye bye.